Hi, it's Matt from Go Green Autos. So I hope you can hear me okay and the microphone's not picking up too much wind noise because it is a very windy and cold day today. It's about -2. Anyway, here we have a Nissan E-NV200 for sale. It's a 24 kilowatt hour 2015. It's one owner and it's done 40,000 miles. Oh, and I would just also say this has got the upgraded 6.6 kilowatt AC charger as well. This has come in from the lease company, but it was run by Edinburgh University. I could tell that because I could see the where it had been sign written on the panels. And then if we have a quick look inside the cargo area, it's really tidy for a van of this age. As you can see, the ply's in really nice condition. And over there we've got the bag from Alphabet, the lease company. That's just got triangles, safety vest, camera and stuff like that you need in case you have an accident. There we've got charge cables, a type 1 to type 2 AC charging cable and a granny cable, and we've also got a set of rubber mats there as well. And inside I've got new carpet mats, and you can of course lay those over the top if you want to. And then yeah, looking inside here, really clean and tidy. Often on these vans they have worn out bolsters here on the seats because of the height the seat is. You sort of don't step in and out, you slide in because of the sort of medium height these seats are, so they do tend to have excessive wear, but this one's all good. It's obviously got a bit of the foam cushion inside has squashed a little bit, but as you can see the fabric's all still in place, which normally on vans of this mileage wouldn't be the case. And we can see there the new carpet mat down there under my bit of paper, keeping it clean. You've got a storage box under the seat, and yeah, everything else standard E-NV200. This one doesn't have the winter pack, so it's got the sort of plastic steering wheel and doesn't have the heated seats. But apart from that, it does have that upgraded 6.6 kilowatt AC charging up front. Let's talk about the charging. Let's open the charge flap there. And then these do have DC rapid charging. So this is your DC rapid charger, your CHAdeMO port, 50 kilowatt CHAdeMO, and this is what you would use when you're on the roadside during a trip to get that fast 30-minute rapid charge. And this is your AC charging port that you would use back at base or at home overnight, or when you're on site using that granny cable you can get a top up, and typically this would be your overnight charging for your day's use. And I'll just show you these charge cables so you can see them up close. So this is your AC charging cable, so type 1 socket that goes in the front of the van to a type 2, and all chargers are type 2, so any workplace or home wall chargers are all type 2, and all public AC charging is type 2. So that's the cable you would use to plug into a wall charger, or if you're getting a slow AC charger when you're out and about on a public charging post. When you're using that DC rapid charge, the cable always comes on the charger because it's about 1.5 inches thick. And then this is your portable charger, often called a granny cable, and then that allows you to charge the vehicle from a 3-pin plug. So these do take longer to charge because they can only draw 10 amp maximum, because that's all you can draw on a normal 240 volt ring main for long periods of time. So they do take a little bit longer to charge the vehicle, so ultimately you would get a wall charger and use that. But they're very handy things to have because you can charge your vehicle anywhere, because obviously every building's got main sockets. And also if you're out on site during the day, you can get a top up anywhere and add a bit more range to the van while you're not using it. And that's ultimately what you've got to do with electric vehicles, is you charge them when the vehicle's not in use. So the primary purpose of this video is to describe the condition, and you've probably seen my videos before. You know, I point out every little stone chip mark or scratch I can find. I don't hide anything because I want people to know exactly what they're buying, and that allows people to buy the vehicle from afar without coming here to view it first. But of course you can do that if you want to when we're out of lockdown. And then the vehicle will get delivered to you, and I can deliver these anywhere in the country, and it will come to you on a flatbed or a trailer. So as you can see, this one's in really nice condition. I've had 3 of these vans previously from the university, and this one's been the best one so far. It's all polished and waxed. So there was some evidence of the sign writing along the main panels here and on the back doors, but I've polished it all and it's come out really well. Normally it doesn't, because obviously the paint fades, normal paint fades, and where paint is protected by the vinyl lettering, that doesn't fade so much. But yeah, it's really good. You can, if you look carefully, you can just about see a little bit there and a little bit there, but yeah, it's polished up much better than they normally do. So let's start here while we're here. There's a couple of scratches on this van. There's one there, there's a light one along there. All the tyre tread depths are on the website. Got new wheel trims on this side. I would also say everything I'm going to point out I've taken pictures of, so you can go on the website, look at the photo gallery, and you can zoom into the pictures and have a good look in detail. We've got a few little scratches down there, couple on the door there. That's probably red paint. The scratches do show up because it's got white undercoat, and as we've seen inside, it's really clean and tidy inside. And we've got our charge cables over there, and on these you get a sliding door on both sides. Looking around here, we've got a minor little scratch there, but I really wouldn't worry about that. A few little paint marks there where the mirrors are rubbed on gate posts and things, but it's not really, none of the scratches are very deep. It's all very minor stuff. New wheel trim there. We have a 2-inch scratch there, but that wasn't big enough or deep enough to run the touch-up stick in. Looking around the front, really clean and tidy at the front, quite exceptional really. We've got some very light scuffing just near the daytime running light there. Round the front here we've got a 1.5-inch scratch. I did have to run a bit of paint in that, but you know, this is just a plastic bumper. A few light scratches on the bonnet there, but really good, and no sort of stone chips. I didn't have to touch up any stone chips on the front. I suspect this is just driven around the universities and not actually been out on the open road too much. Yeah, really clean and tidy down this side. Wheel trims have got a little bit of scratching on, but you're always going to get that on the near side. Again, a few little marks there on the mirror. There was a little dent here. I don't know what causes that, but all of these vans that came from the same place all had the same, so I've dabbed a little bit of paint and lacquer on there because that was chipped. But yeah, just a little indentation there. It's almost as if the door strap was pushing it out, but that's at a different height, so I don't know what's caused that. The other thing to note here is there is a little bit of bubbling there. Only 3 or 4 millimeters worth on that seam there, so there's a little bit of rust forming behind the paint on that edge of that door there. Looking down this side, it's really clean and tidy. I have actually had this door, sliding door, resprayed because there was a parking scuff on this door here and on this plastic trim, so that door has been repainted so it looks really tidy on this side. No scratching at all. A bit of scratching there on that wheel trim, but pretty insignificant. Looking round this side, around the back here, it's all really clean and tidy. It's a minor little scuff there on the rear bumper. This also does have parking sensors as well. And then looking along the back, it's had a little dent in the bumper here, but you don't actually notice it there. You just notice that the top has risen up a little bit more, and the same there, so it's obviously been reversed into something, but it's very minor, and the surface of this bumper is all still flat. You know, I'm being ultra picky here. Most people would look at this and think really tidy van and wouldn't really worry about any of this, but as I said, I want you to know exactly what you're buying. There's a few minor scratches here on the back door there and there. Tiny little dent there, tiny little dent there, which I did have to dab a few millimeters of paint in. I think that's all I need to show you. A tiny little dent there with a few little scratches, but you know, it's a working van, so you're always going to get that. And then it's fully plined, as you can see. There was a bit of scratching at the bottom of the doors, which again, you always get that on the vans where the doors are slammed onto a load inside, and of course it moves around and rubs. But looking at the back here, this is all really clean and tidy. This is quite exceptional really for a van of this age. Usually this becomes a bit of a mud and dirt trap and moisture and corrodes and the paint flakes, but no, all very clean and tidy on this one. I have also just noticed there is a little dent there, a little crease dent there a few little marks in it which I hadn't spotted, but again very minor. I've also just noticed on this near side front wing there's a few bits of minor scratching here. It's actually cobwebs there, but anyway, there's a scratch there, and there is a little indentation in the wheel arch there as well. Obviously again another parking bump. Show you the inside. On the passenger side we've got new carpet mat down there, seats are really clean and tidy. The whole thing is really smart inside actually. And the same on this side. I would just point out there is a little bit of denting here on the door, and corresponding denting around here, and that's just where someone's been slamming the seatbelt buckle in the door, being lazy. But the door switch all works fine, and yeah, nothing to worry about, but I thought I'd just point it out. You can see there's a few marks there where the buckle has taken the paint off. But yeah, very good seat on this, much better than normal. A little bit of paint wear there where people have been sliding in and out, you always get that on these. Completely normal again. Let's just put my paper down and get in out of this horrible winter wind. So let's just start it up. I'm thinking I'm in the wrong vehicle there. So we can see there the mileage, 40,564 miles, and we can see there we've got two charge times, a 3 and a 6 kilowatt, and that shows us that we've got the upgraded 6.6 kilowatt charger up front. And then if I just use the buttons down here, we can scroll through the various menus, and we can see there it's 99% charged. Oh, battery is very cold, but we've still got 12 out of 12 bars on the battery health meter. And yeah, and then back to our charging times. And then this is our battery pack showing it's fully charged, and it's got an estimated range of 67 miles, which is really sort of bang on really, considering we're in the middle of winter. You can see that it's flashing 0 degrees. And these do 60 to 70 miles in the winter if you've got your heating on, and 70 to 80 to, you can max them out about 90 miles really in the summer if you drive efficiently. But as always, it does depend on driving style, driving speeds, but the full details about the range is on the website. And then here we have radio with Bluetooth, so you can pair your phone with a single slot CD. These don't have DAB. It's FM radio. And then here we've got climate control. These do have preheating as well, so you can precondition the vehicle, so you can set it up for what time you want to leave in the morning, and while it's connected to your charger, the van will switch on and heat and precondition the cabin, so when you disconnect from the charger you've still got 100% range, 100% battery, and your cabin's already warm. So maybe you can do your drive without the heating on, or with the heating cracked down a bit, to maximise your winter efficiency. So we do have 2 keys with this, and then here we've got the paperwork. So we've got all the original books, the user manuals, the radio code, the service book, and I'll just show you the service stamps. Oh dear, my fingers are cold. So done at what's that, 8,119 miles, 16,500 done there at 25,000, and then done again now at 40,000. It may have had another one in between, I'm not sure. And then here we've got all the manuals, as I said, and then the logbook is here. So we can see that it's come from Alphabet, it's got no previous keepers, and the registration date is the 27/03/2015. The MOT expires on the 26/03/2021, so I will get a new MOT on it before it is delivered, because that's only a few months away. It's just had a service, and it's had new cabin filter, new front wipers, new high level brake gasket. That's the rear high level brake light. When the bulbs need changing, the gaskets actually need changing on those as well. It hadn't been done in the past, and that leaks, so I put a new Nissan gasket on there, 2 new wheel trims on that side, a new 12 volt auxiliary battery, so that's all good for the winter. and wheels have been rebalanced. Tyre tread depths are all on average 4.5 millimeters. The spare tyre, these do have a full-size spare on the back, and that's still new. And the traction battery is currently at 87.3% state of health, but that fluctuates, and I think that will actually go up a little bit when the van starts getting back into daily use. But that's pretty good for a van of this age, and it's because it's done a few more miles than some of them, because that's actually very good for a battery. You tend to find EVs with a few more miles, or at least have been used daily, will have a much better battery pack than a vehicle that has got very low mileage and hasn't been used daily. And being a plastic steering wheel, they do tend to wear, so yeah, it's gone a little bit smooth at the bottom. It's just lost its sort of texture, and just around that top edge where people's hands are, you know, normally that would be a sign of a lot of miles, but you know, in this case it's come from the university. It's one owner since new. And vehicles like this, it's relatively low mileage, but vehicles like this, they get used on site and they're getting used all day, still have the same sort of wear and tear and use inside, but a relatively low mileage because it would just be driven around sites within the same city. So on these vans you get a reversing camera up there on the dash, and this has also got parking sensors fitted as well, so you get that secondary reassurance when you're getting close. And on these you also have keyless entry, so as long as the key's in your pocket, you just push that button there to lock or unlock it. Of course, there we've got the new green number plates showing that it is a zero emission vehicle, and because of that you don't pay road tax on these, and of course it's exempt from the ultra low emission zone in London. One other little thing I'll just point out, there is a little chunk or a little tear there in the sidewall on the tyre. That's not an MOT failure, and the tyre's still good, so that doesn't need changing, but it was as an advisory on the last MOT anyway, and I'm sure it will be on the new MOT. So I think I've covered everything. All the other details are on the website. If there's anything else you need to know, I'm sure it's on there. And this vehicle is ready to go. I've just got to get that new MOT, but that won't get booked in until the vehicle's sold, so we've got maximum amount of time on that. But if you're interested, give me a call or email, and as I said, I can deliver these anywhere in the country, and it will come to you on a flatbed or a trailer, and it will be fully charged and ready to use.